I mean, is baie moeilik om in Afrikaans te praat as daar net een persoon is wat Afrikaans.
Wasn't that good, the Christmas gift, as the,
It was
had the ring?
Yeah. Is that the ring
Yeah.
there?
We spent months and months and months training with, you know.
Is that true?
Can you imagine Mike?
Hollywood is obsessed with beauty. But did you know that sometimes being too attractive can be problematic? Today, we're counting down 10 celebrities who were told they were too pretty for certain roles, or found their looks working against them in surprising ways. Let's get started. Number 10, Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron is often described as one of the most stunning women in Hollywood, and it's easy to see why. She has that classic glamorous look that many dream of. But here's the twist. Her beauty has sometimes made it harder for her to land serious, gritty roles. Take the movie Monster, for example. Charlize wanted to play Aileen Wuornos, a real-life serial killer, but everyone knew she was this glamorous bombshell. To convince Hollywood she could pull off such a dark and raw character, Charlize went all in. She shaved her eyebrows, gained about 30 pounds, wore prosthetic teeth, and completely transformed her appearance. It was a shocking change that surprised not just the audience, but also the people who knew her. She said in interviews that she worried directors would say no because she looked too beautiful, but she was determined to prove she was more than just a pretty face. Her performance won her an Academy Award for Best Actress. Her beauty was a hurdle she had to overcome to show her true acting chops. Number 9, Jennifer Lawrence. Next up is Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence is one of the biggest stars in the world today, but early in her career, she faced a surprising challenge. For her breakout role in Winter's Bone, casting directors thought she was too pretty to play Ree Dolly, a tough, struggling teenager from a poor, rural family. You'd think being pretty would be an advantage, but in this case, it almost cost her the role. Jennifer didn't take no for an answer. She showed up for her final audition with no makeup, wearing clothes that looked like they'd been through a hard life, and gave a performance that was raw and real. That's when the casting team saw she could embody the character authentically. This role launched her career and proved that Hollywood's idea of pretty doesn't always fit the story they want to tell. Number 8, Kate Beckinsale. Speaking of looks causing doubts, let's talk about Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale is known for her elegance and beauty, starring in films like Pearl Harbor and the Underworld series. But even she has had to navigate the tricky waters of Hollywood's beauty standards. There's a famous story about director Michael Bay, who reportedly said that Kate wasn't so attractive that she would alienate the female audience. Now, that might sound like a compliment at first glance, but it's a subtle way of saying her looks were being analyzed and judged intensely. This kind of scrutiny can affect how actresses are cast, especially when producers worry about how audiences will react. It's a strange balancing act. Too pretty, and you might be seen as unrelatable or distracting. Not pretty enough, and you might not be considered marketable. Number 7, Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood and has been named Sexiest Woman Alive multiple times. Her beauty is legendary, but it hasn't always been an easy ticket to diverse roles. Scarlett has talked about how being so attractive has sometimes led to typecasting. Directors and casting agents have worried that her looks might overshadow the character she plays, especially when the role calls for a more unconventional or gritty portrayal. This means Scarlett has had to work hard to break out of the bombshell mold and show her range as an actress. She's taken on a variety of roles, from action-packed blockbusters like The Avengers to more dramatic films like Marriage Story, to prove she's not just a pretty face. Her journey shows that even the most beautiful actresses face challenges when trying to be seen as serious performers. Number 6, Halle Berry. Let's look at Halle Berry. Halle Berry is another incredible actress whose beauty has sometimes worked against her in Hollywood. She's won an Oscar and has had a long, successful career, but that doesn't mean she hasn't faced challenges related to her appearance. There have been times when casting directors thought she was too glamorous or too polished for certain gritty or down-to-earth roles. Halle has spoken openly about how her looks have sometimes distracted people from recognizing her acting skills. She's had to fight to be taken seriously beyond her stunning appearance. Her story reminds us that beauty and talent don't always get equal billing in Hollywood, and that actresses often must prove their worth over and over again. Number 5. Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie is one of those names that instantly conjures up images of Hollywood glamour. She's got the kind of beauty that turns heads on every red carpet and makes her instantly recognizable on screen. But here's the twist. Margot's looks haven't always made things easier for her in Hollywood. Early in her career, she found herself being passed over for certain roles because casting directors thought she was too pretty or too glamorous. She had to work twice as hard to prove she was more than just a pretty face. She's talked about how some people worried her looks would distract audiences or make her less believable in more grounded, everyday roles. Instead of letting that stop her, Margot took on a wide variety of characters, from the wild and unpredictable Naomi in The Wolf of Wall Street to the gritty and chaotic Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. She's shown Hollywood that she's not afraid to get messy, raw, and real on screen. Number 4. Jessica Biel. Now, speaking of actresses who've had to fight typecasting because of their looks, Jessica Biel is another great example. Jessica has classic Hollywood beauty, she's tall, athletic, and has that girl next door vibe that made her a star in Seventh Heaven. But even with all her talent, Jessica has often found herself pigeonholed because of her appearance. She's opened up in interviews about how casting directors sometimes only see her as a certain type, and how that can be incredibly limiting. Jessica has said it's frustrating to be overlooked for more complex or unconventional roles just because she looks a certain way. But Jessica hasn't let that stop her. She's taken on challenging parts in films like The Illusionist and The Sinner, proving she's got serious acting chops. Number 3, Kate Upton. Now we have Kate Upton. Most people know Kate as a supermodel. She's graced the covers of Sports Illustrated and walked runways all over the world. But when she decided to try her hand at acting, Kate ran into a wall of skepticism. Hollywood has a long history of typecasting models who want to act, and Kate's beauty became her calling card and her biggest obstacle. Some casting agents doubted whether she could be more than just a pretty face on screen, and she had to push back against the assumption that she lacked the depth or skill for more serious roles. Even with these challenges, Kate landed roles in comedies like The Other Woman and The Layover, where she got to show off her comedic timing and charisma. She's worked hard to prove she's more than just a model turned actress, and her journey is a reminder that in Hollywood, beauty can open doors, but it can also make people question your talent. Number 2, Sofia Vergara. Sofia Vergara is a powerhouse who's managed to balance beauty and talent in a truly inspiring way. Sofia's rise to fame on Modern Family made her one of the most recognizable faces on TV, and her glamorous looks are a big part of her public persona. But even Sofia has faced challenges when it comes to being taken seriously as an actress. She's talked about how casting directors sometimes struggle to see her in roles that don't emphasize her looks or her accent, and how she's had to work hard to be seen as more than just a bombshell. Sofia's comedic timing and larger-than-life personality have helped her break through those barriers. She's shown that you can embrace your beauty and still be a serious, talented performer. Number 1, Blake Lively. Finally, let's talk about Blake Lively, who's often described as the epitome of classic Hollywood beauty. Blake's tall, blonde, and effortlessly stylish. She looks like she stepped right out of a Golden Age movie. But even Blake has found that her looks can sometimes be a double-edged sword. She's best known for her role as Serena on Gossip Girl. But when it comes to landing more down-to-earth or gritty roles, some casting directors have hesitated. They worry that her beauty might make her characters less relatable, or that audiences won't buy her as anything other than the glamorous leading lady. But Blake hasn't let that stop her. She's taken on a variety of roles, from thrillers like The Shallows to dramas like The Age of Adeline, proving she has range and depth as an actress. Her willingness to step outside her comfort zone and challenge Hollywood's expectations has helped her build a diverse and interesting career. So, what do these stories tell us? Being beautiful in Hollywood isn't always the golden ticket it seems. Sometimes it can hold you back. But these stars have always proved talent and determination win. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. Thanks for watching.